Welcome to another episode of Smoove Conversations with D Smoove. I got a special guest in front of me, guys. It is Charles Pigott. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me. How
Absolutely.
are you?
Man, I'm feeling fantastic, bro. Phenomenal. I'm glad you're here, man. You made it safe, and that means a lot, man. I'm glad you took the time aside your day. I know you're a busy guy, definitely a busy husband, father, all of those things. We're going to get into them, but thank you for taking the time aside.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, bro. So how's your week been going so far?
Week's been good. You know, we're in the process of moving into a new space, bigger space. So the new Changes Gym will be opening soon at an undisclosed location. So
Nice.
just navigating that whole thing, and it's been an adventure.
I love it. I love it. We love adventures.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about.
Man, you've been doing so well in the community. You're making a household name of yourself. Who is Charles Pigott?
Who is Charles Pigott? Before anything else, a father and a husband. 100%. My wife, my son, we got another little boy on the way. Like, that's where it starts. Family first. Then I'm a business owner. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a nutritionist. I'm a workplace wellness specialist. I do a lot of community work, a lot of service. I'm, more than anything else, I'm a member of the community, and I'm someone that's here to help.
That is all 100% accurate. Congratulations, by the way, on your new incoming baby there.
Oh yeah, it's coming together.
That's right. Did you already tell us a gender?
Yes, we're having another boy.
Let's go.
Yep, first one, we've got Charlie, he's 3, named after myself, named after my father, and then we're going to name the next one Brendan Douglas after my wife's father and grandfather.
Good for y'all.
Yep.
That's awesome. Your wife's amazing, too. Y'all make an amazing team. So congratulations, man. That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
So proud
Thank
of you
you.
guys. Dude, you hit on a few things that I love to just jump right into. So you own Changes Health and Fitness.
Yes,
And,
I do.
man, what got you into wanting to own? Well, first tell us what Changes Health and Fitness is and what made you want to be the owner of that.
Okay, so Changes Health and Fitness, we're a fitness company, but we're so much more than that. What we do is we make health, exercise, well-being accessible to everyone. You don't have to be an amazing athlete. You don't have to be in perfect shape. Our thing is 1% better each day. What is sustainable long term? How do we stay healthy so we can play with our grandkids? So it's all about making it accessible to everyone. Now we offer personal training, nutrition coaching. We have an online program. We have our workplace wellness, which is so much fun. We go into companies, we do monthly presentations, we bring expert speakers. Then we do monthly challenges that we track on our app with cash prizes at the end, one-on-one coaching for employees. And then we do retreats, company retreats. We go out into the mountains, campfire, yoga, the whole thing. And now we're going to be opening our own gym. So it is.
Ooh-wee, that's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
it is. And I'm proud to own it. It is a wonderful, wonderful organization. And honestly, without my team, without my clients, without the community, it would just be me and a pile of weights. So,
Right.
it's everybody else makes it possible.
100%.
And you asked why.
Mm-hmm.
To answer that question, I need to give the backstory.
Let's hear it.
So, long story short, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. And at 18, I had the opportunity to go to college in Manhattan at a great school with a scholarship, work for my dad at his business, and have a wonderful setup. And I decided I did not want that. And my best friend and I moved to Denver. And we started a company where we threw raves, promoted nightclubs, bars, had way too much fun, and made way too much money for kids that young. And it led to a drug and alcohol problem. By the time I was 26 years old, I had lost everything, and I was homeless in Los Angeles.
Wow.
I ended up hospitalized, and I was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. I was told, the doctor came in and said, you have about 6 months to a year to live.
Wow.
And I surprised myself just as much as the doctor with my response. I looked right at him. I said, that's unacceptable.
Right.
No way, no idea how I was going to fix that, no plan, but I was just like, no, that is not acceptable. And through the help of my family, they were very generous to pay for me to go to rehab after not having much contact for a number of years. I came to Salt Lake City for treatment. It was supposed to be a 28-day stint, no big deal. I had talked to some doctors, and basically once I got my third opinion, it was, you will die if you don't change everything. You're young enough that your liver will regenerate. So exercise and nutrition came into my life begrudgingly and out of necessity. I was never the guy that's like, oh, I'm going to eat healthy and go exercise. Like, I played baseball as a kid, but I was good at baseball because I could hit the ball far, not because I could run.
Right.
So it was like, it was all brand new to me. And I spent my first year of sobriety, I went out of the treatment center into a sober living program, went back to school at Salt Lake Community College, exercising, doing the whole thing, and I hired a fitness coach a year in. And a friend of mine from Alcoholics Anonymous said, let's do a Spartan race.
I heard of those.
Yep. So for the listeners that don't know, they're obstacle courses. They have 3 mile, 5 mile, 20-something mile. I did the baby one, but it has 30 obstacles.
Wow.
And with my history, some of the obstacles, barbed wire, hopping fences, that whole thing, I'm just like, bet.
Right.
But they had a rope climb. And
Okay.
the second I saw that on the website, I was brought back to third grade, first grade, being that kid that couldn't get up the rope during they had the presidential fitness exam.
I know what you're talking about.
And I was the little chunky kid that couldn't get up the rope. And so I'm nervous as hell about this rope for leading up to the whole race. And we get there. It's up at Snow Base. I was about 18 months sober when we did the race. And we're going along, and it's so much easier than I expected. We did a good job training. I was much healthier. I had dropped about 70 pounds. So, I'm in probably the best health I had.
70 pounds?
Yeah. I went from about 242 to 170. So it was...
Man, you was in great shape.
Yeah. So I dropped the weight,
Nice.
And about halfway through the race, I see that rope. And that feeling in my stomach came in. My heart's beating fast. And next thing I know, I was at the top of that rope.
Let's go.
I started crying. Middle of 3,000 people. And that moment was a defining moment in my life. It was it might seem small to some people, but to me, it was the moment I realized my past did not have to define me. That I could do anything. And I decided that I was going to push my body and see what I could do. I competed in bodybuilding, won a medal, had some fun. I'm glad I did it. Never want to be that hungry again, so won't do bodybuilding again. Competed in powerlifting, hit some pretty cool numbers that for me were cool. For powerlifting in general were not the biggest, but I was happy.
Right.
But so I excelled in different variety of sports, got my associates at Salt Lake Community College, and I met my wife at the beginning of COVID. And I was working weekends, managing a 48-bed treatment facility, and I'd work 16-hour days on the weekend. So all week was free. She was working remote. So our dating was touring the national parks.
No way.
In 6 months?
I like that.
Dude, in 6 months, we got 6 years because there was no distraction.
Right.
And, we moved in together pretty quick, got married, and, she was pregnant. And at the time, she had a big fancy job. She did property management, but she'd oversee from breaking ground on construction to renting out the last unit on 500-unit buildings. Like,
wow.
She'd be on TV with the mayor. Like, she was doing big things and making big money. And I was not. And she was about 6 months pregnant, and she said, I want to be home with the baby. And I was like, I want you home with the baby.
I love that.
So what can we do? And I have a passion for helping people. I feel a real responsibility to God, to the community. I've been given a second chance at life. I feel a need to help. And fitness was an avenue. I took a leap of faith. I got certified as a personal trainer and a nutritionist. She was certified as a nutritionist. And talk about a God moment. The day my son was born, and she worked up until about a week before he was born.
Yeah.
She got a bonus check, which was enough to cover our expenses for a year.
Wow.
I had a year to build. And we had no idea what we were doing, where we were going. I didn't even have a location. And I'm driving from one place to the next. Finally, there was a gentleman I met who had a gym space with empty offices. We worked out a really great deal, and he gave me an opportunity to build. You know, he gave me the equipment I needed, the space I needed for a very low cost. And now I'm in a position where we can move on and expand to our own place. So I'll always be grateful for that. And it started off, there was no budget, so it was, who do I know? Getting on Facebook, hey, everybody, just got certified as a trainer. How can I help? And one client turned to 2, turned to 3, just all referral based. A year in, started networking, met wonderful people throughout this community between the various chambers and advisory boards, Connect Utah, BNI, just anywhere people were meeting, I was there.
I know.
You know, you're everywhere.
Appreciate you. And I be seeing you in those rooms too. It's amazing, man.
It is.
Dude, I remember going to your grand opening.
Yes.
And I believe that's where we actually met, thanks to Jason Woodland. Shout out Jason Woodland. And yeah, I got the opportunity to just shake your hand and get in the photo with you. And I just remember just like how the expression of joy that was on your face. I never met you, but I came and met you at your grand opening. And just to see where you were then and where you are now, it's phenomenal, man. I just want to say congratulations to you. You're a great human being, and your community supports you. We got your back, and, man, exceptional work. Keep going, brother, for sure.
Well, look at you from when we met, you know, because that was about, 3 years ago or so now?
About 3 years ago, yeah.
And now DJing at University of Utah basketball, second year in a row now, right?
Second year.
Got the radio show. Kids are growing up. Beautiful family. Like, you are killing it. I feel like every time I'm on Facebook, it's like, what are you doing now? So, no, congratulations to you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I wanted to ask, so before your sobriety moment there, did you take fitness as serious, or was it when you started that journey that you realized, I want to take care of my body, I dropped to 70 pounds, now I'm going to be powerlifting, I'm going to be bodybuilding? Is that what kind of inspired you to get into the weightlifting aspect of everything?
So for me, it was, I needed to get healthy. You know, I didn't want to die. And that's really all it was initially. But then I found I liked it. And then as I become more educated and learned more, and the science shows people that exercise regularly, their mental health is better. And working in the addiction treatment world for about 3 years, I saw that when clients and patients would come in and they would start taking their health more seriously, they were more likely to stay sober. And so there was a real connection there, you know, with physical health, mental health, spiritual health. It all plays together. And it's like the more I did, the more I enjoyed it. But it's interesting how we talk about in the fitness community, we say to people, what is your why? Like, what is your reason? And for me, it went from necessity to being amazed by what my body could do and pushing it. Then there was the vanity piece. I'm like looking in the mirror, like, all right, like
go.
Had abs for the first time, like biceps. And then, you know, once my son was born, it really shifted. It became, you know this, and all our listeners that have children, the day you become a father, it changes everything.
Literally.
And I said, I will not be one of those parents that can't play with his kids. I'm not going to be that dad who doesn't go hiking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It became, I need to be healthy so I can play with my son and all the children to come and be 100% for him, be available. And then starting a fitness company at the same time, it's like, I can't be out of shape running this business. So it put that necessity piece in too.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's changed as time goes on. But the one thing I can say is, no matter how bad a day I'm having, what's going on, if I go lift some weights or if I go for a hike, I will feel better. It might not solve the problem I've got going on, but the endorphins, the dopamine, all those feel-good chemicals in my brain will start pumping in, and I will also find some clarity to whatever today's challenge is.
Right. I like that.
Yep.
Now, I remember hearing, well, let's just take it back to where you're from, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
I mean,
right.
come on. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so we're like cousins, basically. Man, what's the biggest differences that you're noticing living and coming from Brooklyn to Salt Lake City, Utah?
There's a lot of differences. There
Okay.
really is. Some of the ones that really stick out are, first thing I noticed, the cleanliness in Salt Lake City. I grew up in Brooklyn. I lived in LA for 5 years, spent some time in Denver. I have never been to a place so clean.
Mm-hmm.
When I first moved here, I smoked cigarettes. I haven't had a cigarette in years. But I remember I'd been here like a week or two, and I flicked a cigarette, and I felt bad throwing it on the floor because of how clean everything was. So cleanliness
Yeah.
stuck out. Obviously, we have very tall things in both places.
Right.
Here we have mountains. Where I come from, we have buildings.
That's right.
There are streets that never see sunlight because the buildings are so tall.
Mm.
So there's that piece, the cost of living, and the people. This is an interesting thing because my wife grew up here, and I grew up in Brooklyn,
Right.
and the what's considered polite, what's considered societal norms. It was so interesting because we both thought each other's families were rude initially because where I come from, you don't ask too many questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, it's if somebody wants to share something with you, they're going to share that information. And if they don't, they won't. So my parents and siblings, they'd ask the basic questions, but they wouldn't be like up in our stuff all that much.
Yeah.
And my wife thought they just didn't really like her, or they weren't interested, or was like really thrown off by that. And for me, her family had questions about everything. I'm like, these people are nosy,
Right.
But then once we got to know each other, we saw those cultural differences, and we've grown to really love each other's families. We're at her parents' place every weekend.
Awesome.
Her sister's part of my team now, so it's like we're all good now. But those cultural differences, they were different.
Yeah, they are. They're very much different.
And then another thing is the difference with the food. New York has some of the finest restaurants in the world. You can pretty much, whatever you're in the mood for, you can get at any given time.
Right.
But then here, I'm buying an entire cow at a time. The steaks cut as thick as I want. Everything's chopped up to my specifications. And you can't get that farm fresh grass-fed meat that's out here. We don't have that there. So there's the food difference. But I'll tell you, my favorite thing about Salt Lake City is growing up in Brooklyn, I had this belief that you can't make money without someone else getting screwed. And here I've found it is so different. People are genuinely wanting to collaborate and work together. I try to surround myself with business owners that are further along than me, older than me, who have made some of the mistakes I want to avoid. And right before here, I was visiting with my good friend Thal Dixon, and he's just always willing to share just things he's gone through, give me feedback, help me work through stuff. And it's just beautiful seeing the business community here being so supportive of each other.
I love that.
Yeah.
You hit a key word that I just want to touch more on: collaboration.
Absolutely.
Tell the people, what does collaboration mean to you, and how do you use collaboration in your life?
So collaboration to me is, so to answer that question, I guess I got to start with, we all have our differences.
Right.
We all have our strengths. We all have our weak points, and what I may be very good at one thing and have no idea about another. So when you bring two people together that have different skill sets, you can help each other shine. And you never know what you're going to bring to the table. Like, we're going to end up shouting out Jason Woodland again. Some of these panel discussions we've been doing where he's been moderating, we've been bringing all different types of people in similar industries with similar experience, but then by asking these questions and creating these discussions, the amount of value we're able to give our guests, but then also to each other.
Right.
You never know who you're going to be working with, who's going to, you know what I mean? Like right off the bat, you hear fitness company, DJ, like, okay, maybe there's some overlap, but we've done a ton of stuff together.
We have.
Thal with the children's books, fitness company, children's books, where does that fit in?
Right.
We've been sponsoring author visits at the elementary schools. A friend, Jody Turner, she has a Jones Eagle Electric, and we do a bunch of volunteer community service stuff together. So it's like, it doesn't really matter what your field is. If you guys have the same visions, the same goals. It seems like collaboration can come out of anywhere. Like the industries don't have to match. The people have to connect.
Ooh, bingo. You hit it right there. Dude, I got to ask, so speaking of panels, shout out Jason Woodland. you did a phenomenal panel actually just, what was that, last month?
Yeah, it was, I think March 20th.
Okay.
Or February. Yeah, February 20th.
About February.
It's
Okay.
It's March now.
Yeah, I know, but where's March gone? It's going by
know.
fast. But speaking of that panel, you did a great one there. But I'm also
Thank
excited
you.
for the one you have coming up next. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so coming up next, we have the Marketing Power Move Summit, and it's going to be fantastic. I personally, like, the reason I was asked to be on the panel is I have a real knack for throwing events and, ribbon cuttings, business events, panels. Like, I really have a knack for it, and I really enjoy it. I actually do part-time event consulting, like a little side thing I do here and there that I really enjoy for business owners. But the purpose of this event is to share with our guests different ways they can market their businesses from different people's perspectives. We have Austin, who's going to be talking about the social media, the video. We've got so many great people coming on talking about the ways they've helped their business grow, the way they've marketed themselves, and the way they've helped market others. And we sold out. I think it was 4 days, 5 days?
5 days tops.
Yeah. No, Jason said it was 5 days almost to the minute. So, yeah.
Ooh.
And that was like, what, last week?
That was last week, man.
Yeah, so we're excited. We're still talking about it, giving the hype, and it's going to be, we're going to have to do another one because people have been calling.
There's a waiting list.
They're like, how can I get in?
Right.
And, the last panel we did 70 seats, so I let some people in day of, but it's like, we've got 100 people. I don't think the fire marshal will let us have more people. and that's a humbling experience. Like, it's cool. Like, I know that I add a lot of value and I'm proud of what I can do. But at the same time, to think 100 people are going to come
on a Wednesday
to hear me carry on at lunchtime and some of my friends, like, it's really cool. But it's also like, it's humbling in a way. It makes you say, really? And it feels good.
It do, and it should.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Something else that probably felt good for you there was winning Best of Salt Lake City in 2024. Dude, tell us a little bit about that. Well, tell us as much as you want to about that, man. Congratulations again to you.
Thank you. So that was so funny. So last year, one of my clients, Michelle Carmen, she is a fantastic property manager in the area, and then her and her husband have 2 towing companies, Bullocks and Marvel, and wonderful woman. And she said to me, I nominated you for Best of Salt Lake. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, me? Like, we only have 4 people on our team, We do good work. We've helped a few hundred people, but like it didn't feel real. I kind of just took it as a really nice compliment from a good friend and client and didn't think anything else of it. And then I get the email, like, you're in the top 10 or whatever, the group we're voting on. And I was like, I guess this is real. So I just started blasting it out on Facebook, and I looked at the way they graded and its votes, and then they look at your reviews on Google. So every client I'd ever had, I reached out that didn't leave a review. Hey, if you wouldn't mind, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a review. We're in the contest. And then we get the email, we're in the top 3.
Ooh.
And I was like, you know what? Top 3, I'll take it.
Right.
Like, that's a win already. And some of the other companies we were up against, are been in business longer, very respected, people who I watch their social media, I've seen their facilities, and I look up to in a lot of ways. And I'm like, they've got me. You know what I mean? But I'll take number 3. Like, that's cool. Number 3 in the whole city. Like, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And so, it was still a big deal. And I kind of went a little overboard. I got 10 VIP tickets to the event because I'm bringing everybody, you know? And my dad, he flew out and with one of my brothers for the event. And, he's one of those, started with nothing, and he has achieved every goal he's set. He bought a small produce company, scaled it and sold it. Has won a number of awards as a real estate broker in New York City. He's also an investor. He went back to NYU and got a master's in film. He's now working on his second movie. He's he's someone I really look up to. And throughout my addiction, we had a lot of struggles. So the fact that he was willing to fly out here meant the world.
That's amazing.
And so he's there, my brother's there, my whole team, some friends, and we're sitting there and we're enjoying it, and they're like, okay, so-and-so is the best, this company. My friend Stacy at Edit Design House won Best Interior Designer. Like, my friends at Miracle Movers were in the top 3, and I'm like seeing my friends win, and I'm like, this is cool. And then next up, personal training. And
heart start beating.
Next thing I know, before they even say it, Changes Health and Fitness in big yellow letters on the blue screen. I jumped up in the air. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say on the show, but I yelled some profanities. I was just so excited. Jumped up. Thank God I didn't hit anyone because fist was in the air. Yeah. My wife screeched. We went up there. We got the award, and it was, tears in my eyes. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I look at that plaque up on my wall every single day, and just the support from the community. Like, I'm the guy that won the award and got the plaque, but it's my team, it's my clients, it's my friends, it's my community that won the award.
That's right.
It just happens to have my name on it.
Yeah.
So, and we're in it again this year. We're in the top 3 right now, and they don't tell you till the night of the event. So we'll be there, I think, April 14th or 15th. Halfway through April, we'll have the award ceremony, and the other 2 companies are fantastic, like really great people. So I'm just happy to be in top 3 again. And, and if we win, thank you to the community. And if we're top 3, hey, I'll take it.
Man, that's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing. I felt like I was winning with you when you were sharing that story, man. That's cool. And I voted for you, by the way. I did.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone that voted.
Yeah.
But then I saw you posted a little something about Best Estate the other day. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Man. We got to put you on the spot. Ooh. I need a sip of water.
Well, thanks for asking, man. Yeah, there's another competition going on. It's the Best of State, and I had the opportunity to submit my name, submit the company, the DJ business, and don't know what's going to happen yet. The voting structure is a little bit different, where I believe it almost remind me of like college in a way, where you like fill out this essay, you answer some questions, and then the judges basically decide who's going to be the winner. And I don't know who all my competition is going to be, but I'm excited to be part of the opportunity. This is the first time that I've entered. I have the opportunity to win Best DJ in the state of Utah. I've already won. I don't care what happens. I literally already won. So, man, I'm grateful, man. Thanks for asking that, by the way. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Best of State's a huge honor. For them to even consider judging you, that says a lot about you. So, seriously, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Well, let's talk about some of your awesome parties that you throw yearly.
Bro, my parties, my Christmas party, it is my biggest expense of the year. I lose money on it. I pull my hair out. I start planning. My wife thinks I'm crazy. My friends think I'm crazy. I start planning in July. Yeah. Speaking of which, we gotta talk about that later. Second Saturday in December, we'll be doing it again.
Love it.
But my Christmas party is very important to me. My favorite Christmas movie is The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Okay.
And there's Fozzie Bear. He plays I forget the name they give him, but he's like the business owner that throws the big company party with young Scrooge. Yeah. And from a young age, that scene just always stuck with me. It's just so heartwarming, and I remember being like, one day I'm going to do that. I always knew I was going to have a business, no idea what, but it was from a young age.
Right.
So, we need a Christmas party, and the first year was, you were there, you did the music, and we had a bunch of wonderful sponsors. Val Dixon again. He had children books for all the kids. We have Santa and Mrs. Claus giving out the books, and it was, such a heartwarming experience. And I'm like, we got to do it again, but we got to do it bigger. And I want to help more people, reach more people. Because one of the things that motivated me to do it was we were at the mall, and it was $50 to take a picture with Santa. And I said to myself, how much could it be to get Santa to come to my place? $50 is a lot of money, especially if you have young
Part of
kids.
photo,
And,
yeah.
You know, and there's some families out there that they're really struggling, and what their kid can't see Santa Claus because people are greedy.
Right.
So, you know, I was like, we need Santa, we need Mrs. Claus. So I have a very dear friend I'm going to shout out right now. His name is Ivan Gonzalez, and he is the founder of a nonprofit called Best Seat in the House.
Awesome.
I do a ton of work with them. They help underprivileged and vulnerable kids and families do cool stuff that they wouldn't necessarily be able to do due to the financial expenses of disabilities and illnesses. They do a lot with single moms. Just pretty much any kid that's struggling, they get them out there to jazz games, hockey games, bees games. They put on carnivals. They have reading programs and math programs in some of the schools, like really cool stuff. So I called up Ivan and I said, Ivan, this year's Christmas party, I want you to bring all the families. He's like, well, how many? I said, invite all of them. Let the fire department shut us down. Like,
yeah, I love it.
Bring them all. And, you know, the party was cool. Tons of food.
Oh, man.
Wonderful sponsors. You were there DJing. My friend Tim did his
singing.
Frank Sinatra bit.
Oh, yeah, he was killing it.
Like, it was a beautiful event. But I'll tell you, the best part of my evening, there was a mom that came up to me and she said, I want to thank you so much for putting this on. She's like, a single mom, I have 4 kids, and it's making me emotional. She's like, we don't have a lot of money. We don't have the opportunity to do these types of things. And, you know, that for me, that's the win. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
You know, I really, you know, I want to succeed in business. I keep growing, you know, making money. But I only want to do that so I can do good, you
That's
know?
right.
So seeing what we did for that family makes all the difference. But then you're going to love this piece.
Okay, let me hear it.
At the end, we're cleaning up, and a good friend of mine, shout out to Ryan Searle, he's a financial advisor over at Edward Jones.
Yeah,
Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's the man. Everyone knows Ryan.
I play basketball with him.
See, there
we're
you
playing
go.
basketball tonight, actually.
Yep. So Ryan says to me at the end of the night, he's helping me clean up, he goes, so how are you going to top this party? And half jokingly, I go, well, next year we're going to have a live nativity. 3 days ago, I secured the camel for this year's party.
No way. You got a camel?
I got a camel.
Oh, my goodness, bro.
Bro, like I said, my Christmas party's a bit
Bro,
much.
you're going to have a line out the door.
And everyone is invited, and it'll be at our new facility. So once we have that up and running, I'll let you guys know.
Man. Like freaking camel, bro.
A camel. Dude, Jason Woodland. He
Shout
knew.
out Jason Woodland. And that's crazy you saying that. Like, I'm serious. The line's going to be out the door, but the line was already out the door this last Christmas party.
Yep.
I mean, just for getting some food. I mean, the food was top notch.
Well, that's I'll tell you. So all our sponsors had a little bit of food at their tables, but I have a good friend, Anna Eaton, and it's so cool that she's a chef and a caterer, and her last name is Eaton.
I love that.
Like,
yeah,
I love that.
That's
But
cool.
Anna Eaton, she put a beautiful charcuterie board together. She had all the meats, cheeses, the chocolate-covered nuts, all that, plus the chicken salad sandwiches, the beverages, and people would walk in the door, and she just I don't know how she moved that fast. Just handing those plates,
Yeah.
filling them up. So
It's a chef
yeah.
right there.
Oh yeah, she did. She did good.
I want to touch on something you just mentioned there. The family that said thank you.
Yes.
I just want to let you know, they might have been vocal about it, but there's many more families out there that feel the same exact way. So just keep up the amazing work, bro. The love is definitely there, bro. You're
It's
doing an amazing
important.
thing.
It's important. I truly believe this. As we succeed and as we become more successful, all of us, we have a serious responsibility. You know, I think they call it stewardship in the Bible. And we have a responsibility to take the blessings we have and do good in the community. You know, and it's so interesting because every time I do something good, there's a selfish piece. That smile, that feeling I get inside, like, ooh, it's like, it's nice. But we have that responsibility. And back to difference with Salt Lake and New York City, there's some great people where I come from, you know. My dad does a ton of stuff with the Boy Scouts, the Catholic Church. It's a wonderful place called Chips in Park Slope, Brooklyn, that helps the young women and unwed mothers and stuff. And, you know, there's some great people doing great things there. But here here in Salt Lake, the service-oriented people it's like an expectation.
Right.
It's like if you're not doing something to help, people are kind of looking at you sideways.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, it's good. I love it.
I do like that piece.
Yep.
That's cool.
And we all struggle at times, you know? It's like right now I'm winning, but 7 years ago, I was sleeping on the side of the freeway. And there were people that were kind to me then. And that's part of it. It's a circle.
It is. Dude, that's so cool. I want to ask, what's some of the things that you're looking forward to in 2025? Like, we've already started. We're almost done with the first quarter.
Yeah.
We got 3 more to go. I mean, what's some of the things that you're anticipating?
Oh, well, my next son will be here end of August. So that's the biggest anticipation.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we're going to be moving into a new facility. You know, we're not going to be renting someone else's space anymore. It's going to be ours. And that is just so exciting. Our family's going to be moving into a bigger space. You know, we're going to be moving into a bigger house, you know, get the backyard for the son. So that's going to be cool. Christmas party.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just all the cool things my friends do. You know, seriously, I feel like every time I turn around, someone we know is doing something cool. And just having the opportunity to show up. Like, I'm the guy. I get invited. I get asked to do things. I don't even ask what we're doing half the time. I'm just like, I'll be there.
Right.
So just the surprises throughout the weeks and months and cool tidbits of knowledge and shared experiences. I'm here for all of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, so this definitely has to be a difference. Let's talk about the sports aspect coming from New York now over here to Salt Lake City. I mean, you guys got everything over there. I'm not even going to name it.
Yeah.
And colleges included.
Oh, we got multiple teams from every sport.
Exactly. So now being here in Salt Lake, I mean, I know you like the Bees, but I'm not going to give it away to the crowd. But who's some of your favorite teams to watch out here in Utah?
Oh, well, I'll tell you. Salt Lake Bees, 100%. I'm excited for the new stadium this year. Last year for my birthday, we did it big. You know, it was going to be the last year at that stadium. And initially I looked at some of the, what do you call them, the suites that you can rent.
Right.
And, you know, they're pretty pricey. And I realized that for the same amount of money, we could get a pavilion and invite a lot more people.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to Ivan again over at Best Seat. And with the help of my friends at Marvel Towing, Power Clean Laundry Repair, Cook Electric, On Guard Alarm, like, you know, we all came together, pooled our resources, and we brought, I think we had 135 people, you know, all families, kids, everyone got a hot dog and a soda, and, you know, it was a great way to end the time at Smith's Ballpark.
Right.
I'm so excited for the new place. I love baseball, you know, and I have a soft spot for minor league baseball for 2 reasons. One, growing up, my dad would take us to the Brooklyn Cyclones, and so I have tons of good memories there. I was maybe 10 years old, and I won the cheesecake eating contest that they had down on the field. Junior's cheesecake. It was me and the 2 guys I was competing against. They're like those, you know, those big Italian New York guys, grown men.
Right.
And there were forks on next to each piece of cheesecake. Mm-hmm. They started using the forks. I'm handfuls of cheesecake. Right. And I don't even remember what the prize was, but it was just like, so that's just a core memory. And we did a Boy Scout thing where we camped out on the field. So minor league baseball's always had a space in my heart. And then just from the spectator standpoint, minor league has a lot more errors, which makes the game a lot more interesting.
I see what you're saying.
Like, I've been to a number of, we call them Subway Series in New York, where the Mets and Yankees play each other. Right. And nothing will happen for 5 or 6 innings. You know, you got 2 teams that are being paid hundreds of millions of dollars that are like the best of the best.
Yeah.
It can get a little old. So minor league, they keep it interesting.
They do.
So Bees are big, and then University of Utah. So big Utes fan, and a sport I never thought I'd be a fan of, I'm now a season ticket holder for.
Let's go. Tell me about it.
Utes gymnastics.
Let's go.
Oh my God, bro. It is so amazing to me. I went, a friend of mine had tickets and invited us. And as a fitness professional, as somebody who's competed in a variety of sports, I've coached hundreds of people at this point, I can understand the strength, agility, flexibility, and then the nutrition. The nutrition piece watching is the craziest to me. The amount of food you need to eat to fuel your body to perform that way while also being that flexible and athletic. Like, it is a true serious feat.
Yeah.
So we were hooked, you know, and we had season tickets this year. We'll have season tickets again next year. And, I love it. And then, you know, we hit some basketball games, and, you know, we've done the Grizzlies thing. We've done Utah Hockey Club, and I really hope they give us a better name next year. You know, I'm Team Mammoth.
Okay,
you know,
Team Mammoth.
they're talking
like
about Mammoth. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. So, but yeah, Utah Hockey Club's a bit. It's a rough name. It's a fun experience, but I hope we get a name next year.
They're doing pretty good too.
They're in the playoffs. We were at a playoff game the other night. You know, my son. You know, my fault bringing a 3-year-old to a game that starts at 7:00 at night.
Okay.
We had to leave early.
There.
You know, it was. Get the hot dog, get the soda. I don't want the hot dog. I don't want the soda. You know how it is.
Exactly, man.
And see, my wife always warns me. She's like, "Are you sure you want to do something that late?" And I'm like, "Oh, he'll be fine."
Yeah, he will pops. You know, everything's gonna be good. He's gonna sit down, watch the game, just like me.
Yep. Nope.
That's awesome, man. No, I definitely agree with you on the gymnastics side of things. I got to DJ the championship match for them last year.
Nice,
when they were at the Maverick Center.
What do they call it? The 12.
That year was it was the last year in Pac-12, so Pac-12 championships. Yeah. And the first gymnastics match that I ever been to, and I agree with you. I'm like, this is incredible. Like, I feel like I was watching Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
And just like the way that they would land on their feet and make sure like their bodies and physique was perfect. It's like, that's a skill I'm good on.
Oh, the balance, the agility. I can't do that.
No, at all. They could probably outbench some of these guys out here. Not me, but, you know.
Yeah, not you. Not you. Yeah, but we can't say how much you bench. We don't want people to feel bad.
We don't. Yeah. We're going to keep that offline.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Awesome. What about you? What are you excited for about this year? What are the big things you've got?
Thanks for asking. I mean, I would say there's a few things. I definitely want to continually grow. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest focus, just growing 1% better every single day. Being able to lean on friends that have done it, that continually is doing it, and learning from their mistakes, just like how you have the mentorship from Thal and Jason Woodland and those amazing leaders out there. You know, that's kind of my focus too, just continually bettering myself. I want to see what doors I can open, you know, and literally just put myself out there and not be afraid of anything, because I've already tested the waters and I know I can achieve more and greater things. So music is one of those things. You got to hear my song before the show started. Just producing more and more and just having fun.
How's the producing thing going? So you've been dropping some music.
I have.
Tell me about that.
Dude, it's been awesome, man. And it was something that I had a challenge with at first, because it was something I was unfamiliar with. So I'm like, I just thought it was going to be difficult, and I thought it was going to be something that like stresses me out and that I was going to potentially just not do anymore. Well, that was the case when I was actually creating the music through my computer. And then I found a workflow that worked for me, and that was buying an MPC, which is basically like a beat making machine, where like a DJ controller, you have buttons and pads up there. This machine actually has a replica of that, basically. So I felt like I was DJing but making beats at the same exact time.
Okay, yeah.
And I realized that this is my workflow. Like I made and produced one song last year through the computer. Already in 2025, I have 6 songs out using my MPC. So it's like the workflow is just amazing. It's hands down my favorite thing. And it's different for everybody. But producing music is great, man. I just do it by the moment, how I'm feeling. And right now I'm working on something that I think would be great for a festival. So
awesome.
Yeah.
A festival, you mentioned a festival.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty involved with Murray City, and we have the downtown USA. It's a nationwide thing, you know, working with the historic buildings, bringing up the communities. And May 2nd, we are having a block party downtown Murray. A good friend of mine, Jen Keekle-Lynn, I'm going to shout her out. She's a real estate broker in Murray, lifetime resident. She's also our B&I director.
Nice.
She got me and my good friend Andrew Russo, who owns On Guard Alarms. She got us on board, so we're helping with the block party. So, yeah, that'll be big. Put it on your calendars. May 2nd, downtown Murray block party.
Downtown Murray block party. You guys heard it here. And it's Jen that's helping put that on.
Jen
Shout out
Keekle-Lynn.
Jen. Let's go. Well, cool, man. Is there anything else that you want to share with the people? Oh, before we do that, where can we find you?
Where can you find me? Physically or
I would say
online?
Let's say online first.
Yep, online we have our website, changesfit.com. And then Facebook, Charles Pigott Jr., Changes Health and Fitness. Everywhere you look, Charles Pigott, Changes Health and Fitness. LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the things.
I love it. Can you spell your last name for us, just in case those don't know how to spell it?
Yes, it is Pigott. So Charles Pigott, Pigott.
Love it. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to share with the amazing people out there?
The message I have is, whatever it is you want to do, and this might sound corny, but seriously, you've got this. Like, whether it's going back to school, starting a business, asking out that girl or guy that you think might be out of your league. Listen, when I met my wife, I was 2 years sober, making $11 an hour.
Yeah.
I was way out, she was way out of my league. Just shoot for it. Shoot your shot. Dream big. Go out there and win.
I love that.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and co-sign with that. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody listening. For those that's on the radio station live listening and those on YouTube, want to say thank you, guys. Charles, it's been an honor having you here on the show, and continue to make great things happen, brother.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, man. All right, guys, we're going to close the show up here and get back to it. Much love. Thanks for listening.